Good evening. It has been a while. I've had to take a couple of weeks off to do some various other things, but I'm back. I didn't remake the countdown because I forgot, and actually misplaced it. I couldn't find it. I was stressing out about 10 minutes ago trying to look through all my folders and try and find where to put it. But anyway, I've found it. I'm louder, I think. I don't know how loud I am exactly, hopefully not too bad. I'm sure someone will tell me later if I am. And I've also decided to not go with Monster Cat anymore because I don't want to get my YouTube videos copyright strike. Well, not copyright strike, but the monetization takeover. I don't really want it anymore. So we're not going to use that anymore. I have got some relaxing music lined up on YouTube, but I think I might just try and avoid it for now. So, what I want to do is I'm going to give Her Plus a bit of a break because there's a lot of things that need testing. I've just not got around to it, so I think I should probably come back to it when I've actually had that time, and then hopefully things are more exciting on stream, finalise it, and then it'll all be good to go. Now in the meantime, this is what we've got. So this is the new API. It appears to be called Helix, but I've never heard that reference before. So I'm going to henceforth call it Helix, I think. So what I'm thinking is that, well, I'm not really sure, to be honest, where to start with this because it's not exactly clear. There seems to have changed all sorts with it, whether it be, you know, they're using data models now, which is new. Yeah, so this is something here. So the, you know, the API is the same. So The API is not the same, that's the whole point of this exercise. The authentication is the same, so that's good, that's a good start. So I think what I should probably start with is actually creating a client ID, which will be good. So I don't want to do that, I want to open a new tab and log in, so I can make myself a client ID. Yes, I'm going to do it as Glycient, because why not? I can always change it, I think. Probably. Maybe. And besides, it keeps it separate from all my actual stuff. Yes, I can use that. Okay, my applications. Register an app. I haven't really used this new system before, I'm going to be honest, I don't particularly like it. But we will just deal with it, I suppose. So, Helix npm library, that's pretty descriptive. Just localhost it, I don't think I need that, I just need the ID and secret as a test of just put that, and then don't sign me up, I already signed up on my normal account. That's good. Oh, well, that'd been good to know, wouldn't it? Why they never tell you these things until you've actually just done it? Right, hang on a moment, I'll do it as me, but off camera, because I can't render my own account in this window. I don't want to do that, I've actually loaded up my own stream, which is going to play back sound. Right, so, dashboard, reference, here we go, view apps. I'm trying to commentate what I'm doing because I'm well aware that you can't see it. So I'll just type the exact same stuff out again. I forgot what. Just copy and paste it. Don't understand why the highlight's orange. That just seems like bad CSS. But anyway. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll just take Notepad and save that. And actually, I don't need the secret, so I'll leave that as is for now. Okay, good. So, I need to actually initialize some stuff because I've not done that. I need like a node project. I mean, that should be fine, I think. So, what we need is I'm going to have a users thing, definitely, because that's what I'm going to start with. So, I think I'm just going to keep it simple. That just seems like the logical thing to do at the moment. So this is going to be module.export. This is going to be a nice simple one, and all the index is going to do is just return all the required modules as I want to name them. So users is going to be require users. Oh, sorry, lib.users should be. I think that's how you do it. Users. Users. I'll have that. Rename. Still not quite used to Sublime yet. Need to get into it a bit more. Okay, that's good. And I need actual app to run. That would be helpful. So I need app.js, and I want to require app.js queue. And then from there, I need to require the other thing, which the name of which I've completely forgotten. The module, that's what the word I'm looking for. So I need to require, I'm going to call it API. What am I trying to do? API equals, there we go, require index. Now I'm aware that this isn't brilliant, but what you got to bear in mind is at the moment I am just sort of testing, so it's fine, I think. I can't notice it's not doing any syntax highlighting for some reason. That's weird. Why is it doing that? I named it properly. Oh, there we go. It's done it now. Okay. And then users is just going to module.export. Export. It's going to be. Let's just call hello world, so I can check if it works. So this requires that. So console.log api.users.hello. Yeah, I think that'll work. Just thinking, do I need to as a function? Okay, we'll worry about that in a minute. So let's see if this will just accept it as a node project. It probably won't, but it's worth a go. No. Oh, sorry, I need to put it as relative path, don't I? That'd be why. I've done that again. Yes, like that. Okay. World. Okay, good. So that does work. So if I want to now make this a function, I would want hello as a function. Call back, I suppose, like that. Then call back world. I don't know, I'm trying to run it through this. I keep thinking I'm in Python. Function hello. Oh, I need to make this brackets now, of course. And then just run it. Callback is not a function. Right, okay. Maybe the better way to use a promise. That might work. Let's have a look, shall we? So, I've not really done callbacks before. I try to avoid them, but anyway. Let's see. Nice bit of work, wouldn't it? Okay. So this isn't really what I'm after. I was hoping I could sort of have a... Actually, no, I don't want to do... Can I just do... You can tell I've not done JavaScript for a while. Oh dear, this is awful. Let's try that. Okay, good. That's what I want. That's actually much better than expected. Right, so in this I need a request. I'm going to actually call it underscore request so it goes to the top because this is going to be an important module. So this is going to require. Do I want to use Wrestler or do I want to use something different? Let's go with Wrestler, shall we? npm Wrestler. Here we go. So request post get. Here we go. This is what I want. Right. Okay. So I want to do Wrestler is requiring the Wrestler module, so I can actually make my requests. Otherwise, there's not much point in any of this because, well, there is literally no point. And then I want to do npm install save Wrestler. Wait for that to do its thing. And then in the meantime, I want to do module exports. Just thinking, do I want to do it as like just one function, or do I want to do it as multiple? Let's keep it as multiple for now. Oh, actually, do I? Yeah, let's have it as one function like this. Let's do it this way. Is function, which we're not going to give any parameters to. Actually, no, we are doing. We want method. Do I need any data? Oh, URL, that'd be good. And then data. And then data can be optional. Because if I'm not going to need data for get or... Actually, would I? No, I would need it, wouldn't I? Because I'd need the IDs and stuff. Okay. Yeah, that's done its thing. So let's try that then. Okay, so what I want to do is to do a get users function, and I am going to call this with IDs, this is going to make a request from this. So I just realised I've not been varring. That's a bit bad practice, isn't it? Let's just go and put that back in. I'm actually surprised that's not throwing an error. I thought it was required in this. Okay, so request equals require request. Let's go request. I call it, wasn't it? And then that, and then return request dot no, just request. I think I want to do get all caps HTTPS twitch.tv Helix, and we'll do users, and then I think it's IDs. I've lost my reference now. Where is it? Requests. Reference. Here we go. This is what I want. Get users. Yeah, users. And then I put limit 100. So I'm just going to use mine for the time being. I don't know if you do it as comma separated or if you have to do it as, you know, and, but I'm going to assume it's like that. And then yeah, and then I don't want any data, so I'm not going to pass that to it. What I am going to do though is I will do if id.length is over 100, then we're going to return an error. So var response equals that, and then we will return the response, but I'll make that a nicer format later, and then for now we're just going to return error there, I think. And then what we will do is we will just simply for now return, let's just change that before I forget, yeah. And then for now we'll just return method and URL. Okay, let's run that. I didn't want to do that. I want to do that one. And it didn't work. Why not? Oh, because I've not given it IDs. That's helpful, isn't it? There we go. Okay, so now it knows what I want. I've just realised I've actually kept that as a fixed thing, but I don't think that particularly matters. Whereas if I just give it, let's just confuse it a bit and just give it, you know, lots of me. It's just, I reckon that's 100 about. No, that's probably way over, but that'll do. Okay. Error. Nice. Let's just get rid of all that and bring back the bit that I did want. Okay. I suppose the next step is to actually, well, do it, I suppose, isn't it? So, currently, I don't have a client ID, so what I need to do is actually define one, so that's just going to be nothing for the start. And then when I want to start, I suppose what I want to do is I want to have API.client ID is, what was it? Let's use this. Okay, that's fine. And then let's try and do a request, shall we? So I know that the method is going to be get because that's what I'm doing. So wrestler.get, or can I actually just do? Is there like just a request one that I can do? Method. was hoping there'd be an options one or something. Unless options is a separate. Ah, here we go. Defaults to get. Okay, so I just need to do a request thing then. So rather than capitalising the get, let's make it lowercase, and then wrestler.request, and then we're going to do it to URL, and it will be this is my option. I don't like pasted that there. I want that, and then this is going to be my callback for data. So we will print that, print it, log it, whatever, and you're going to have method is going to be that's a good point actually. What is it going to be? Index client ID. I'm going off this module here, so this is sort of what's inspiring me, if you like. So how have they done it? Oh, it's in request. I need it. Sorry, request. Okay, so they've just brought in index. That's fine. And then so index is require. Lots of requiring. That's Node for you. So index dot, I think I call it client ID like that. Oh well, if it not, that's what it's now called. So, what are the odds of this working first time? Undefined, great. Oh, I need to returning data, aren't I? Not actually print. I need to stop saying print. Logging it, still undefined. That's great. Where am I even calling it now? API get users. So it's getting users. What's response? Let's do it like this. I'm going to assume the answer is nothing. But yep, nothing. So it's here that the problem is. So let's looking at index, spell console correctly. Look at index, method, and URL, like so. So index isn't there. That's interesting. So when you update that, it's not accepting it. Back to this, see how they've done it. So they've done it as just export. So that's essentially what they've done. Only it doesn't seem to like it. Okay, let's try API and API. Sorry about that, Slack's just pinged. Oh, okay, so it is doing it, but it's not saving it. Right. Odd. So I don't just see, because I don't recall it like being having to be saved or anything. It shouldn't be. Index, not that one. You know, I honestly can't even find where it is. Where's the client ID defined? Client ID. I actually can't remember where it's defined now. Right, it's in the README. Why is it in the README? Oh, it's trying to get me to. I see. In theory, it should just save it, but it doesn't seem to like that. Unless it's just calling it too soon. It's called that, isn't it? Client ID. Client ID. Yeah, all the same. I don't understand it. Right. Oh, I know why. Because I'm trying to send a client ID as a method, which is stupid. Well done, Glycian. Well done. I mean, it's still giving me that, but you know. Where's this other thing appearing from now? So I don't need that. What? I can't see. It detected URL, didn't it? So it is sending that. Let's try that. Something will work eventually. Right. Can we get? Okay, it defaults to get. That's fine. Yeah, that should be fine. So why is it returning undefined? Unless it really is just bothered about its client ID. The only other thing I can think of. And I also just realised I think it's because can you find that? Is that where? Oh, I confused myself now. Upper directory and it's there. Upper directory and it's yeah. That's where index is. Why is this so hard? It should be simple. I've only just got started. I was worried about the authentication side of it and I've barely even got into the easy to use bit. Right, okay. Let's start the relaxing music. I could do with that right now. Much better. Right, okay. So I probably should send the client ID with it at this point. But then again, I can't actually remember. Do you have to send it as a header, or is it a? I know what it'll show me. Purple plus. Let's see. Oh, it's in helpers, isn't it? Helpers. Twitch. Get user by ID. Okay, this should help. So headers accept. Oh, I've been sending it as a that. The word's forgot. The word's gone. What is it? Parameter. That's it. Got there in the end. So okay. So that's what I want to accept, but I'm going to use double quotes for consistency reasons. Then again, I suppose I don't want to accept that because that's for query. Yes, that's the word. Thank you. But I suppose then again, I'm not accepting v5 anymore, am I? So, hi Matty, how are you anyway? How's things? Probably let's just check that this is actually the right URL and I'm not just like missing something obvious. Though I didn't think to check this at the start. Must provide a client ID. Yes, I know. And then client. Things are alright. Good. That's what I like to hear. Oh, is it not accepting them as parameters anymore? Queries. Oh, don't tell me to stop doing that. That kept saving me last time. No, I think they might have done. Preferred method. Yeah, I had an issue with that, and I honestly can't remember what it was. But for some reason, it just decided sometimes I'm not detecting that. So headers fixed it. Headers didn't fix it. The queries fixed it, so I've been using it ever since. I'm assuming they must have deprecated it then, because that's valid. Okay, that's fine. So, client ID. Then again, I suppose, are these headers or are these just data things? Headers, right. Not data, I want headers. Headers is client ID, and that is going to be index.client ID. Okay. Maybe if this doesn't work, I'll just try simple get request, because I know that that does work. Value required in set header name value. So it's not returning anything then. Right. Okay. Let's do a get then. Wrestler.get URL. Does get take options? I can't actually remember. Oh, it does. Not going to send any for now. Just send an empty object, and then send data, and log the data. Yeah, I must admit I'm not particularly liking the new API very much so far. It's just been very vague, I think, in the way they've done it, which is strange because the whole point of this, what's the word? Like board and like the Trello board, I think it is. They're using Trello. The whole point of that is, it's clear, but I just actually think it's worse. And I also just like how they did version 5 and decided let's get rid of that, even though they've only just moved everyone onto it. For something just that difficult to change. Ah, that explains why. Because I'm thinking of Needle. It's Wrestler, isn't it? So it needs to be on, not. That's annoying, isn't it? No wonder it's not returning anything. And note to self, I need a fail counter because that is just great. So on complete, and then in theory this should then return nothing. I was doing this again, right? Hang on, don't do that. It's still undefined. Why? Complete function result. Let's try it with get again. That might work. Get, and then empty object, and then okay, and then let's try that. Not just, is it just? I think it just give me something. Oh, here we go. That's more like it. Right, finally, an error I wanted to see. That's something I don't say often. So now the question is, why doesn't client ID save to that? Let's just check that index is actually where it claims to be. First of all. Okay, so that's fine. That's where index is. This one doesn't seem so sure because this just returns nothing. Now, even if it returned, just something that hadn't, because like the function isn't there either. So I'm thinking that go up then. So the thing is, though, you would do that to do. To get something, wouldn't you? So, how have I done it again? Let's have a look. Let's look in root profile. That's exactly what I've done. I've just done that. Unless it's not circular dependencies, is it? Or is it? No, it can't be, because I'm not using it. Library users, and it's going to do that. It doesn't actually. Let's put index in this and see if that fixes it. If it actually let me. I want to add and move stuff. I don't know how to move stuff. Oh, there we go. Put it in there. And then at least this should narrow down what the problem is. That's now in the same place, and then that's now in the same place, and that's now in the same place. Okay. Good. I just realised I accidentally shut this down. It's in the same folder, doesn't have anything to say. Also, it's not in the parent folder, which I believe is what index checks. It wasn't in the parent folder, because it was in library, and then it was within that. At least it was. And index should say something, because it's not technically supposed to say anything, but it's supposed to store the client ID. So I'm calling that here. So I'm saying in the index file, which I've just named API here, save that and then call it back here, but that just returns undefined. And then if I actually call index itself, it just returns an empty object. So that's the part I can't work out, because I don't understand why it's not saving. Was it? I think it just looked like it was, because that actually, yeah. But yeah, it was under there. It's just that's the parent folder though. Right. Okay. Twitch API v6. It's not even v6. It's not even called that. Don't know why I've called it that. Oh. Great. Which emote's that? I've never seen that one before. Okay, it's a global one. Never seen that one before. Oh, these are confusing. Right. So again, that's not fixed it either. This is literally the exact same thing as what's listed here, and that's the bit that's bothering me. Because if I go to library, oh right, that would probably explain why I've not seen that then. Yeah, probably. To be fair, I've not watched a lot of streams recently. I've not had the time that I used to. So yeah, this is the thing here. So it's requiring that. I'm sure it was something obvious when I see it. You neither? Yeah, it's just times are changing, aren't they? That's the way thing is. Maybe the way to do this is to have a actually no, that wouldn't work though, would it? I was going to say maybe the best way to do it is have it sort of stored out here, but that's exactly what I'm already doing, isn't it? Right. So if I do it this way with the get, does that still work? Or is that the bit that doesn't work? That's still undefined. And again, I suppose I didn't send a client ID with. I don't want to though. Oh, why is this so difficult? Still could worse, could embarrass myself to the whole internet. This confuses me. I might need a new plan, to be honest, because this does not want to work. The only other thing I can think of is if I mean, this won't make a difference in the client ID issue, but this is done promises, so that might be worth looking into. But I don't understand why. I mean, I don't need to save it or anything, do I? West. Then it's just calling index there, so that is where it's needed. I can't remember what use strict does. What does use strict do? That's not like save stuff, is it? Can't possibly imagine what this does, but okay, fine. That's not what I want. That just seems like a good practice thing. Let's look at it, shall we? So, npm change, node change value of export of another module. Yep, that'll do. Just got a new sign integer. No, that's not the question I wanted. Change variable in another module. That might work. Okay. Count is that, and then count get from main. Get from here. Get a number, not a reference. However, you should. Right. Okay, let's look at a different one. You don't actually want to ask them, I want to actually change them. This is the bit that I don't get. Oh, why is this so difficult? Maybe just easy. So, node cannot change variable in another module. The only thing I can think of is if it's not just loading every time, because if I surround this with, we get this, a log API. You don't log, that'd be silly. Log API. There we go. So you can see that it's actually doing it, and it's still maintaining which variable. Trying to change a client ID. So this is here. Yeah. So when the program is initialized in app, it will load an index where it's nothing. Try and change it to this. Then in request, I can then pull it back again. But this always just comes up as undefined whenever I try and call it. As you can see there, if I log API either side of it, nothing, something. But then it just doesn't seem to stay. Unless... I wonder if I can... this could work. If I did client ID was nothing as a starting point, this could work, right? And then if I made a function called update, and then I just make that function with the ID like that, and then in that function all it's going to do is just change client ID to whatever ID is, and then instead of exporting sorry, as well as exporting ID, I can also do that, and then yeah, that could work. So then instead of doing it like that, I do it. And this is a silly way of doing it really, but let's try it at least. Or knock it. Okay, that didn't work at all. It was worth a go. Yeah, that's not going to work, is it? The only other thing I can think of is just write it to a file and pull it back. Well, that just seems unnecessary. Unless that's like a config thing, but yeah, I just can't think of a good way around it, really. And that's the bit that's bothering me. And what bothers me more is I know this should work because I can see here that this person has done it exactly as I'm trying to. And that is the absolute worst of it. The only thing is they're using exports. This is it. So it's basically the same thing. So they're just the same thing then, aren't they? Really, unless I change exports deliberately, it should be silly. I don't know, let's give that a go. I don't think this will make any difference whatsoever, but I'm going to try it anyway. Okay, that just didn't work. Unless it's because... No, because exports is predefined, isn't it? So if I did exports.clientID equals Update's not needed. Let's get rid of that before I forget. And then exports.users is that, and we're going to close that off like that. Make that an equals, and let's see if that does anything. Okay, well it still set it, but oh wait, hang on. Too many logs going on here. Right, let's just log just that one and see if that works. Client ID is nothing. Right. But client ID at least is sort of recognised as having a value. So that's something at least. No, that's new. I don't even know why I'm still doing that, I don't need to. Okay. And then still setting API client ID to that, which is fine. So let's move this to in here, so where I know where it is. So log API and log API. Okay, good. Then when I call index again, we will see that absolutely no difference whatsoever. But for some reason, export it's actually given me, you know, a blank field now, which it didn't do before, which just doesn't make any sense. Right. What to do? I'm thinking maybe just that's bothering me. Okay, for now, let's set client ID as constant, which is, you know, not ideal, but I'm just going to do it anyway. And for now, client ID is just going to be logged in that. Yeah, okay. So, I want to log API.users.get users, and then I'm going to list not that, my own ID. I don't see what's wrong. I really cannot figure out what is wrong with it at all, and that's really bothering me. I'll ask the cyclist to have a look after the stream. He'll probably see what it is, but oh, that's annoying. Right, okay, so that's undefined. I wonder if I can swap to needle, to be honest, because this is getting a bit silly. Rest. That's exactly what I've got though. Incomplete. What do I want of this? Wondering, I want success or complete. Success. Find. Did set the client ID, it was only saved for the current session. Yeah, exactly, and I can't figure out why. I mean, let's just try googling that. JavaScript. Only saving variable for current session. Session, who knows what that means. Isn't that just how JS is? Well, no, but that's what I thought that, but then I saw what this guy's done, and then I thought otherwise. And you know, cause if it hadn't seen, you know, this library that I've found, I accept, you know, clearly this is beyond JS, but that's the bit I just can't get. Right. But setting the client ID each time? No, I just don't think. Or if he is now. Bits. That calls request. So then request comes here. And then, yeah, it pulls the ID from index, which is what exactly the same that I'm trying to do. What's his index? Let's have a look. There you are. So the difference is using export, which I've now changed. Because it's just blank. And then the actual ID is never defined anywhere. The only thing we've got is the example here. That's all there is. Which is, yeah, as you can see, he's not done anything really. And then again, he recommends that to enable debugging of requests, use API debug equals true, which is the same principle really, isn't it? Yeah, so the example is the only thing that sets client ID, which is, you know, pretty similar to not that one, this one here. Well, I've now given up on it, but that's where I did have it before, where it calls up my index. So, yeah, it's an odd one, that. Very odd one. I don't know really, I just thought, I didn't think it was difficult to be honest, because then again I don't see, that example is what you run every time you run the app, so the client ID is set via each session. Yes, but wouldn't that then not transfer between modules though, because that's exactly the same as what I was doing. So if I API.client ID again, like so. Sorry, quotes that. I do that. If I run that, it will just hold it here. But then when I call it through this, it will just not do it. Yep, indeed. I don't know. Really don't know. This probably going to be one of those projects just gets whacked on the good old back burner. So yeah, that's the difficulty I'm facing really. Just don't understand it. Where's that console log? It's this one here. So it's calling API users, get users, and then there. That calls response, and then that calls this. That's just giving me an idea though, now that you mention it. I wonder if we've got like a circular dependency somewhere. It's the only thing I can think of. I was going to see if I log here the index, it won't hold it. Do it twice. Oh. Well, that's interesting. Now it decides, but the question is, I don't know which one it is now. So 1, 2. If this is 2, that'll be much better. Whoops. Thing. Well, the client did look like it got set earlier. By the messages now, it seems like something's wrong with the API call. It might be because I've not set client ID. You know. Ah. Aha. Right. I don't know why it's working, but it's working. That's good. Oh, great. Okay. Good. Absolutely no idea why that worked, to be honest. Wrestler.get. And let's fix that problem there that you've just highlighted. So, yeah, so headers. And we're going to have client ID is index client ID, and then I want to do the onComplete thing. Quotes. I've just got a message that says it's live, boys, with a link to Twitch, Twitter. I don't have a clue what it is because I've not got Twitter open. Sorry, I want to have a look at that now. Oh, taking me to. Oh, subscription gifting, nice. Cool. Pretty sure it worked earlier, but. Oh, it probably didn't. I probably didn't notice, to be honest. One with it. First time I've done something stupid like that. But anyway. Stride 90, login, auto, what? I have done. That's. What do you want from me? It's there. Right, back to the drawing board. Tens of money, yeah. I might take that approach as well. Get users. Oh, it's ID. Right. If the limit is 100, then why is it singular? That's just confusing. Right. ID. Should we go with? And then I'll check if I can. Ah. Finally, some good news for once. Right. Okay. So let's see now if that works with. I know it won't do, but I just want to see if it's. I can't remember if it's comma separated or if you have to do it with something else. I hope it's like this. Right, that's not it. Yes, PogJump indeed. And ID is. I don't know if this is Twitch breaking. There's a thing on our Twitch about that. If you have a look for it. There's an MAA on Friday. Let's see, this is the best moderator ever, I don't even know. Friday 4 PM Pacific time, I think it is. And with the FS developer. FFS developer? FFZ developer. Frankface developer, whatever. Yeah. I think apparently like version 4 is compatible with something. I think it's just being BTTV that isn't, but I don't really care for that, to be honest. I've not used BTTV for a while, ever since they had that, what happened? What was it happened? Didn't they, it was the cross-site scripting exploit. Ever since that I've left it, really. Well, yeah, I know, but it's Reddit, it's special. Sincerely, no one. Right. Now, why isn't this doing as I want it to? I want to do. I know what I want to do, but I just don't know how to do it. So, I've done me thing. I was wondering, actually, do I want to do it as this, or do I want to do it as a promise? Yeah, let's do it like that. So, my keyboard stopped responding. How fun. Hang on a minute. There we go. Joys of virtual machines. Right. So get is equals no, that's not right, is it? Function. How is it? Hang on, I can do this. Is it that, and then like that? I think that's how I've done it before. Can't actually remember. Users. I'm impressed I remembered that. Yeah, okay, actually I don't want to do it like that. Right. Let's do that and comment that out, because I don't want to do it like... I've changed my mind, I want to do this now. So, module exports equals an object, and then we're going to have get, which is like that. No, not like that, like that. Yeah. Then return a new promise. Bear with me, I've not done this for a while. And then we're going to resolve, reject. Oh, no, stop doing that. And then send it as a function. So what does it want? That's right, isn't it? Oh, it doesn't like that. Oh, I've not put a thing on it. It does the... There we go, that's what I wanted to do. Right, and then we'll do, so I want URL still. And then do this thing. And then resolve data. Nice. So that's good. Now this is done slightly differently. It's done. Hit the wrong key. There we go. So then function data. Okay. Well, that was worth a try. Oh, it's because I've renamed it now, isn't it? Request. Dot get. So it's a virtual machine. I do run Windows 10 usually, but I use a virtual machine for streaming just so I don't leak anything by accident. Partially because I kind of miss Windows 7 in a way, and also because it was easy to use the ISO files and stuff. I must admit there are some things that I don't wish about Windows 10. One of which is definitely command prompt is the worst. Okay, good. That's what I want. I think that's probably the first thing that's actually worked as intended for once. So, just thinking. So I need to do. So for ID in IDs, what I want to do is query var queries is nothing. Then is there a way to do like first, I guess? Oh, I know actually, let's do it like this. So ID, and then if this is how I do it, right. If ID is equals ID's 0, continue, and then else, actually you don't need to continue anything else, do you? So let's just do it like that. And then plus ID's 0, and then for each one we're then just going to append queries plus equals ID, no, not, sorry, and, because this is more than the last one, and then plus ID, and then that should hopefully turn up what I want. And then it's there, we can just add on the rest of it, like so. So then we will use don't need that anymore. Okay. So we'll use myself and we'll use Matty because why not? Then we'll use my alt. There we go. Glycine. Why has it done the same one twice, hasn't it? Why has it done that? I mean, first of all, why has it not been error handled so it won't return the same one twice is my first question. And secondly, why has it done that? Oh, is this standalone or mod? What? Hello, Dysicus, how are you? Good to see you as always. Keyboard stop responding again. It's a DayZ joke. I don't play DayZ. You should know this by now. No, that's oh, go away. Right, keyboard settings. Okay, and then that works for some reason. How are you? You okay? What? I'm already confused. When are you releasing this? I've only just started it, okay, and it's not worked brilliantly. I've been running some problems with it, to say the least. Oh, I know why it's not working. It's of, not in. That's why. That explains a lot. Why it's returning random people. So, listen. Hey, perfect. Hurry up! Hurry up! I'll try my best. Promise. Code is hard. Trying my hardest. Okay. That's fixed, that's fixed. Right, great, we have one function completed that doesn't... Actually, is it fully done? I think it might be, actually. Great, one down. At least, really, the rest of it is just the same thing repeated over and over again. Because, it's really exciting to work with, is there? I mean, the things they've picked, I can see why they've picked them first, but... I don't know. Going to support names. I probably should do, shouldn't I? Or at least come up with a way of converting them. Yes, I will do, actually. That's a very good point. Get users by IDs, and then... Yeah, that's a fair point. Helix API, yeah, it does, which is, you know, probably the biggest positive so far. It also needs to do better than return error. That's not very good. And also, I think I might come up with a custom response object. I did this for the Purple Plus API and I quite liked it. So like a status, a message, and so on. So this should be quite straightforward because it's login, isn't it? Log it and then change all instances of ID to name so it doesn't look like I've copy and pasted it. There we are, and now you would never know that I've just written the same thing twice. So then we'll just do the same again, and by names, by IDs, and then we'll have Glycient. You forgot one IDs. Did I? Oh yeah, there. Thank you. Get users by names. Really unexpected. Oh, because I've got the comma. Fair enough. Oh, I've done it again. Yep, I see it now, okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Apparently that one takes less time than that one, which is a bit strange. That's odd. I would have thought that the I was going to be the way around. Because I would have thought it'd be the same speed, so just do it in the order I called them. Apparently not. Right, okay. So let's do it better than this, shall we? So what I want to do is I want to create is a I suppose a payload is probably the correct words. That's exactly what I'm going to call it. So payload is just going to be a nice simple thing that's you know, status on your extra time, looking sense like ESLint helps catch the certificate in a combo before you run into a code. Yeah, I'll do that definitely. To be fair, the mistakes I made earlier, you know, weren't like just, you know, oh, Mr. Comma, Mr. Bracket. Funnily enough, that Purple Plus blog that was bugging me for like ever, when I was trying to do that admin partial thing a while ago, I just missed a quote off after all that. I ended up I had like a copy of the file and just like cut half of it off. Did it still work? Okay, which half doesn't work? And then cut a bit more off and just kept adding bits to it until I found the exact line didn't work, which was a missing quote. So, well done me. Yeah, it was swig though, so nothing detected it because I didn't have a swig filter on. Right, message, and then data. I want to call it. Yeah, let's call it data. Data is going to be response, and then I'm now going to return this instead. Response, I'm going to call it. The reason I'm calling it response, I think that the API actually calls it data anyway. Oops. I think I used to use ESLint for something, but I didn't. What? I just realised I'm actually just yeah, I was saying this earlier on, is that I don't like what I've done with Helix, because I'm going to be honest, up until you know, about 2 hours ago I didn't even know it was called Helix. That's how little I know about this. I don't like that their idea of actually being more transparent and giving a clear road path using Trello actually made it less clear than we started with, and that they thought, I mean, the shift from version 3 to 5 was bad enough. I don't even know from version 4, you know, that was never really covered. But I shifted everything to 5, and then they got rid of that as well. So it's just irritating really at this point. So, you know, not keen myself. So I'm going to have to make these promises as well, aren't I? This is the promise is here really. So then data v4 is never public. Yeah, I know. I never really understood why though. I was hoping that they sort of cover it sometime, but they never seemed to, which is a shame. I'm assuming it was like they started on something and then they decided that they wanted to introduce name changes, and then obviously they have to move it across to IDs for, you know, obvious reasons. I just, you know, wonder what they had planned. Just one of those that would interest me, because that's just what I'm like. Right, I'm going to make this into a promise, I think. I just think that's the way forward now. So, but that, sorry, that goes like this, doesn't it? And then you put like that with that. I think it's the first time, actually, I've seen it before. It's the language. Wonder why they did that though. I mean, was that like preparing for name changes, or did they just think, well, people store IDs in database anyway, why don't we just let them use those as primary keys, or what? That's the bit I don't really get. And also, where did you find that? Where did you find that? I've never heard of that before. Return new promise. Resolve reject. That's not right. I didn't think that looked right. Are there still many hidden endpoints with the beta? I was wondering if they've rewritten it, then maybe they'd, you know, rely on less of them. But then again, I'm not entirely sure they've rewritten, to be honest. I mean, I know it's meant to be faster and stuff, and there's a noticeable difference, but I'm actually aware of what they've done. Still, yeah, still using them then. I think it's a shame, really, that, you know, they don't just make them official. I don't see why they don't. Because, you know, as your blog point. 3. Yeah. The thing is, I don't understand why, you know, I can understand why they want people using undocumented endpoints, I can understand why they discourage it. Likewise, people do it on Purple Plus. I wouldn't, you know, like them doing that. But rather than just, you know, get rid of it then, like they did when you brought that blog out, and I just, you know, made it official, because if it's useful, then it's useful. I don't see the problem. But hey, Twitch works in mysterious ways sometimes, doesn't it? But I suppose though, if they knew that Helix was coming along, they wouldn't have bothered rewriting it to version 5, would they? Okay, that's good. Forgive me for asking, what actually is GQL? You can tell I'm out the loop. I mean, is that listed here, or am I just? No, I don't see it. All right, that's fine then. I'm happy with that. And I think that works sort of in line with this one. No, it's not. Where's my example? There it is. I should probably find. Yeah. See, I don't like these sort of if error things. I think it's just better to send one response with a code in, and then they can check it. Oh yes, I remember now. So is that documented anywhere? Because I've not read about that. I remember it now. Yeah. So it's handled, isn't it? So I don't need to reject. I'm just doing the resolve. Not documented anywhere. Right. That's helpful, isn't it? Yes, I know they mentioned it. Yeah, I'm just hoping they would have, like, you know, it just seems like a sensible thing to do. Well, this seems to be a recurring theme of they'll say we're doing this, and then that's last year of it for a bit. Having said that, I know they've released stream achievements, the goal things, and the raid command, which I'm going to try and use at the end of the stream, hopefully. Yes, that's what I was just doing then. I'm just trying to think of some like logical things to do. So that's success, whereas that one is bad request, and then message is this one's just going to be okay because that's what they just send, isn't it? And then message is you have specified too many IDs. Their maximum is 100. I mean, I suppose the code's always ever going to be 400, isn't it? Unless... oh, sorry, there's rate limits, isn't it? Which is 429, I think. And then there's also unauthenticated things, which would be 401 or 403, depending on what the problem is. Too many usernames. Okay. I'm also going to try out one of these automated documentation writers for this. I've never done that before. YouTube status. Yes, thank you. Let me just get that. I've always used. This is probably, you know, not professional even slightly, but I've always just used Wikipedia. It's always been the best one for me. Let's have a look at them. Oh, lovely. What's I'm a teapot? Do I even want to? Okay. Don't know what that is. Yeah, fat foot. I'm best remember that 429. It's an April Fool's thing. Yeah, I thought it would be. Surprised it does support it though. Wasn't it 402 that's not used? Reserved future use, yeah, I thought it was. It sounds like an April Fool's thing, doesn't it? Or it sounds like something you would use it as an April Fool's thing. I mean, I've never requested anything from Twitch and they've replied, I'm a teapot. If they do, then, well. Funnily enough, actually, Zangold put on Twitter earlier what should we do for April Fool's Day, so there we are, suggestion sorted. Best part was somebody, what is this? Right. I need a new plan. What's going on here? I was thinking now, do I change? It's up to 100 IDs. Wow. Just thinking maybe now I should change this to be a data payload rather than just for consistency. Because the thing, if I'm going to have optional parameters like this, then I don't want to have, you know, because I don't want to have somewhere it's like set parameters and somewhere it's like send an object and only send it if you want to. So I'm going to do it like this, I think. What did I just do by accident then? IDs is now going to be, actually, ID is going to be data.IDs. Nice all, and then I'll check it's not empty as well. That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah. Oops. Just out of interest, what happens if I do that? I mean, if I don't let's try not specifying it at all. Then we'll send it an empty array and see if that does anything. Rejections. Yeah, I can't read it. Okay. Okay, and then we'll send this as IDs. And then what I want to do is else if data.IDs.length is equal to 0, then like that, request, you must specify an a user ID. Oh, but we're not sending a response, are we? So I need to null those. Just realised that. Actually sending it off in the first place. Good call, Designers. Good call. And then let's see if that worked. I mean, that works. So, yeah, I know. I was just thinking that. Oh, that means that if I have to do this the other way around, aren't I? The joys of error handling. See, if everyone just got the code right, then I wouldn't need to do any of this. So if no data, or there is no data.IDs, or it equals, yeah, let's do it like that. It's like trying to break, just, you know, account for everything you could possibly ever go wrong. Yeah. request. Why is it successful? I've done 3 or something. Oh, I've done 3, that's why. Right, let's not then send ID at all. And then let's see if that breaks it. Good. And then let's just not send anything. Oh, enjoy. Oh, thanks to the host as well. It should pop up. There we go. See? Look at me being professional. Yeah. Enjoy. See you later. And then that also works. Great. Okay. So I'm happy that the user stuff is now done. So that's good. Now I want to look at streams next. I think that's the thing that people are next most likely to use. So let's just duplicate it simply, and just I don't want to do that. I just want now, because now that I've done this, but then I've done it with the payload. I was wondering, can I actually send usernames and IDs in the same request? Just delete this for a minute while I work this out. Like this. Yeah, you can. Ah. So I don't need to do ID and names, do I? I can just do them as one and just clump them together. But then, is it still capped at 100 between them, or is it 100 each, so 200 maximum? If you know. Because if it's the former, that's great. There's still 100 between them. Right, okay. Yeah, I know, but it says if you read what it's, you know, like the wording of it's a bit sort of unclear, because if you no, I'm not smoking. No. Log in, and then that. Limit 100. So that's the thing. It says limit 100 of that, and limit 100 of that. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's just try it, I suppose. But still, at least I can check that works. Right. Okay. So let's comment them both out for now, because that works. Get users, and then if there's no data, or there's no data, there's no names, it's wrong one. Okay, that should handle that sufficiently. Then if that is that ID or username, and then too many user IDs. And then I think I can just take this bit. I mean, I know it's not the best practice in the world, but you know, it does the trick, doesn't it? Oh wait, this is where I'm going to struggle a bit, isn't it? Right. So if data.id is 0, do that. Then else do that. But before you finish that, do this. There's a reason why I'm doing this. I'm just trying to make sure that I cover all bases with it. So else if, I mean, if this isn't here, then something's going catastrophically wrong. But still, better to be prepared, I suppose. Is V6 out anywhere? Not. It's called Helix. It's not actually called V6. That's just what I've called the folder as a shorthand. It is if you go to the docs page, which it's in the reference in the new Twitch API. I'll send you the. There you are. That's the link to it. So yeah, if you look at that, then that has the thing that's available. To be completely honest, there isn't much available. So you're welcome. No worries. There's not much available, so I won't get your hopes up too much. Okay, let's see if that works then. So I'm just going to get rid of that for the time being. Then I need some different people really, so I'll keep these IDs. Then I don't know. And we will use Mellow. You have to have Mellow and Decisus together, and then Decisus to Cycus. There we go. Get user by name. That's why. Just name it users. Oh, not found. Right. Let's look at the URL that I'm sending. Try and find out why that is. I'm surprised that didn't work actually. High hopes for that. And login equal. Have I not done the plus equal? Oh, I see what I've done. Plus equals that. So if it's there, then yeah, do that, and then yeah, okay, let's try that. Oh dear. Oh, keyboard, please stop. Hang on a minute. There we go. Right. It's only sending one, which isn't a good start. Oh, I see what I've done now. two things that do the same thing, really, aren't they? Right, okay, that's fine. So let's put that like that, and then we'll remove this again. Yeah, that's just because the first one has to have a question mark, then the rest had to have an ampersand, so I have to just do the first one separately. That's what I want to do, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Why is it sending 0? Oh, that's not worked. It's like I've accidentally just clipped that off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Brilliant, they're all there. So I should then be able to log the... I've not named it very well, but it's data.data. Sorry, response.data. And that should return all the people I want. So, Tychus, Mellow, Brassicus, Glycient, Matty, and Glycient. Nice. So, that works. So I think, all in all, it's coming together reasonably nicely for first go. I'm just glad it's sort of the framework's working. So what I can now do is I can clear this off because that's a bit more efficient. What I would like to try though is I'm just going to put 50 IDs in. So let's see if it can put up with just the same thing 50 times. So 1, 2, need the comma as well. Good. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 10. Yeah, I know. I'm just testing another theory I've got. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Let's see if it complains about that. I don't understand why it's quite happy to just pull like the same thing through over and over again. Just beyond that. I mean, why would I want, 50 of the same thing? And what's the point? It didn't even complain at the fact that I've now do one. That's my next idea. Yeah. So just copy the same again, really. So that's now precisely 100 that are there. Let's see if it'll take that. No, is the answer. Why didn't it like that? Didn't like that at all. See if that complains. Oh dear, something's gone horribly wrong. Well, that's annoying. Please tell me it'll work if I go back to this now. Okay, good. Why did it resolve null though? Oh well, I think I might have worked out why. I think I just forgot to edit something. Get rid of that now. Is that all 100? Yeah. Doesn't like that. I wonder if it's because I'm doing that. 90, that's 100, and then 99. I wonder if it just doesn't like me sending the repeat thing. That's all I can think it might be. Use the same response to my brothers. It's so true for us all, Matty. It's okay. Oh, so hang on, it's now decided it's only going to request me once. API is hard. Let's go back to when I had 3 uniques. Okay, good. So, I'm going to wrap it up there for tonight, I think. Made a good, sort of started the framework on it. I think next I'm going to move on to streams, and then I'll probably do follows. I'm not really sure how hard this is. It's all the pagination that I'm just thinking, how's that going to go? But we will see how we go. So thanks to the people who stopped by. Thanks to Matty for helping me out with those troubles earlier, and thanks to Discycus for hosting me. And I will hopefully see you all again soon. Probably on Saturday, 2 PM coordinated time, that's British time. We will continue with this, is the plan. Oh, I might go back to Purple Plus again. So I'll see you all soon. Bye.